Okay, good morning, everyone. Jim Williams, HurricaneCity.com. We have Hurricane Debby making landfall in the Big Bend, Florida area. This is a surprise because last night we were figuring this was going to come in a bit further north and come in onshore around maybe 9, 10, 11 a.m. This morning, and instead it's coming in here at 5 a.m. The eye wall is approaching just north of Steinhatchee, 13 miles to the north. It looks taking the same exact path that Hurricane Idalia did back in last year in September. So this is not quite as intense as Idalia. The winds are 80 miles per hour. And there is the current position of Hurricane Debby. And there's the animation throughout the morning. It becomes a tropical storm and moves into Georgia and then gradually makes its way back out in a couple of days over the Atlantic, but it's not expected to regain hurricane status. There's Horseshoe Beach, and there's a flood warning, by the way, but Horseshoe Beach is right where that flood warning signal is. Perry is up in here. This is where we rode out Hurricane Idalia last year. And Keaton Beach is, I think, somewhere right in where the eye is about to hit right now. And it's too bad we don't have a remote camera there because we'd captured the eye of this hurricane passing right over. Okay, there's our recon Hurricane Hunter fix, 980 millibars. Let's take a look at some of the details here. 76 miles to the south-southeast of Tallahassee. Minimum central pressure, 980 millibars. So I'm not sure where they're getting 979 from, but that's the official advisory, 979. The drop zone surface at the center of the eye, the winds were 12 knots from the east-southeast at 14 miles per hour. The eye is open to the northwest. The eye is elliptical oval shaped. It's 40 nautical mile wide eye. Reading of the maximum winds is 64 knots, 73.6 miles per hour. The maximum surface winds were 13 miles to the northwest of the center, so that's where the strongest winds are in the northwest quad. The SFMR, why do I have such trouble saying SFMR? I don't know. It's one of those things. Maximum surface winds, 57 knots, 65 miles per hour. And that was located on the, 20 miles to the southeast of the center. Okay. 61. This is definitely weaker than Idalia, for sure. I mean, no question. Yeah, 75 miles per hour just to the north of the center. I mean, obviously the highest bands are onshore right now. Near Cross City is getting hit really hard. Horseshoe Beach is getting hit really hard right now. It's going to be heading up into Perry. In fact, I think if you're up in Perry, you may miss the eye. If you want to get the eye of this as a storm chaser, you're probably going to have to be down in the Keaton Beach, Horseshoe Beach area to get the eye. And then, of course, inland you have areas like Trenton, Chiefland, Bell, Branford, Fort White, Lake City, Mayo. These are all going to get hit here as the morning moves on. Here we go. There's the new vortex message, 979. That's it just hadn't come into the system yet. 979 millibars. This was as of 906. That's so 506. That's about 25 minutes ago. 25 minutes ago. 29.4, 83.7, 78 miles to the south-southeast of Tallahassee. And we have a minimum central pressure, 979 millibars. The eye is open to the southwest. Well, we can see that on the radar. Circular eye with a diameter of 30 nautical miles across. So it's strengthening as of this last pass. Yeah, estimated surface wind 65 miles per hour. And that was located to the southeast of the center. And then the other SFMR reading was 75 miles per hour. And that was on the north-northwest of the center. You know, and to credit of some of the meteorologists on Twitter last night, I did hear mention of a lot of people saying this could make a hard right-hand turn because of the trough influence on the system and the fact that it was lopsided. For the most part, all the main convection was on the right-hand side of this. They thought that this could make a right-hand turn, and that's exactly what happened. Flooding roads. These areas will include Mayo, Steinhatchee, Perry, Cross City, Horseshoe Point, Sewanee, Horseshoe Beach, Salem, Carver, Clara, Tenille, Cook's Hammock, Athena, Howell Place, Jonesboro, Blue Springs, Hines, Pineland, Fish Creek, and Jenna. And for obvious reasons, look at that radar. I mean, there's no deep reds around this. It's definitely a Category 1. I mean, anybody that wants to jack this to a Category 2, I mean, all you have to do is look at the SFMR wind, so this is not a Category 2. They may maybe make it 85 at landfall based on the pressure dropping at the last second, but it's dropped 1 millibar, not 10 millibars. So it's 979 as opposed to 980. So it's making landfall earlier than anticipated. Okay, so there's some Tempest instruments set up right where the eye is right now, and it's reporting 29.20 inches, which would be 29.20 inches would be, 989 millibars. Okay, pressure 2918. That's about 988 millibars. So says it's online. It claims it's not available now. It was live. I had it on the iPad, and then I guess that was the last image that they shot from there. It looked like it was relatively calm. This is not unusual. The cams always go down when the power goes out and whatnot. Again, this is right where the eye is coming in. We have temperature 74 degrees, pressure 2919. North-northeast, gusting to 20. It just doesn't make any sense. Extreme rain, 9 inches so far. That is right there, Fish Creek, right where the eye is making landfall right now. Pressure 29.18. 29.18. They're identical. Extreme rain, 4.94 inches per hour. Rain accumulation, 9.41. So they're both in the same area, and they're both measuring the same thing. Except for the wind, it just doesn't make any sense to me. 12 miles per hour, wind gust at 22, wind low 4.5. They may be in the eye. That's probably why they're not getting a proper reading. Yeah, they're right where the eye is coming in right now. That's those instrument readings right there, Fish Creek. So let's go down to Steinhatchee, where higher winds would be down there because they're on the southern side of the eye wall. We have pressure 988. Here's another observation from generally around that area, 988 millibars. And again, there's two observations in Fish Creek where the eye is coming ashore. Pressure 2917. It's still dropping. Of course, they don't have a timestamp on this. But it looks like it's getting light out there a little bit, so this may be live. Pretty calm. Let's go down to Clearwater. It's a live cam shot. Can't see very much. They obviously don't have the night vision on this, but looks like wave action. It doesn't look like any surge. You can see the waves coming up on the beach, but there's obviously a pier in this shot, and it doesn't look like it's underwater or anything, so I don't think they're dealing with surge right now. You know, the winds aren't that bad. Right at the pool. Now they turned the lights on. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like it's blowing maybe 20, 30 miles per hour down there in Tampa. So the worst of it's over for them. No doubt. This is on the Crystal River. Again, winds not that bad. Looks like they're blowing probably 20, 30 miles per hour from WFLA. And again, if it's hitting Tampa, you're going to have a lot more resources available than when it's hitting where it is right now, which is up near Steinhatchee. Here's Newport Richey, blowing a little bit better over there. There's Josh Morgan's location. He is, right where the eye is coming ashore. This was an older image before. He says, got sick of waiting, drove down highway into the eye wall, now in Tenville. Tennille. Very rough conditions, going to drive towards Steinhatchee through the eye wall until I'm in the eye, chasing. Okay, Tony Bright is also in the area. He's where the eye wall is right now. His last update was at 2:25 a.m., so I'm not really getting anything from anybody. But look, notice the eye's getting a little raggedy here. It's kind of not circular anymore. It's kind of stretched out. So this is definitely maxed out. Cedar Key is getting some good bands right now. Gusting to 20.6. South-southwest winds. Pressure 29.18. Again, that's 988. So you only have one here's one inland. Let's take a look at this. In Chiefland. Yeah, Chiefland is right where the right where my flash flood warning bubble is here. That's where Chiefland is, right there. And they're gusting to 40. Well, the highest bands haven't made their way in yet there. This is Perry Beach, 29.29. That was 17 seconds ago, so it's current. 79 gusting to 96. Again, in that Horseshoe Beach, Keaton Beach area. So they're almost identical. I mean, it's uncanny how identical the tracks are on these. It's almost split. It's exactly the same. 14 miles south of Perry, 14 miles north of Steinhatchee. It's compared to our current storm. And it's 10 miles north of Steinhatchee, 24 miles south of Perry at this point. But a much smaller wind field, first of all. Much weaker. We're talking 80-mile-per-hour winds. If you drew it with a ruler, you really couldn't get these much different at their landfall points. It's unbelievable that we're watching a year later. Not even a year. It's 11 months ago. Hurricane Idalia was hitting the same exact spot. The eye came in at the same exact location. Now it looks like a heart. Eye is shaped like a heart. 601. Yeah, that's from 11 minutes ago. The pressure's up to 980 now. 982 rather. So it's not strengthening coming on shore. It's weakening. The eye is open to the southwest. We have a circular eye with a diameter of 30 nautical miles. Brad Arnold just posted on Twitter, weakest hurricane I've ever chased, trying not to fall asleep. Oh, God. Again, there's our track of where it developed. It traveled over the Greater Antilles and just dipped just briefly south of Cuba, went near Havana. And again, rainfall is going to be the big deal here with this system. We're looking at 8 inches in the area that's being impacted right now, and then well east of Tallahassee, when you get up toward Georgia, we're talking about 12 inches of rain. And we could get 16 to 20 inches in the Savannah area south of Charleston. 97% of the people are going to experience only tropical storm force winds from this. It's such a small sliver of hurricane force winds that unless you're right on the coast on one of those islands off the Big Bend, Florida area, you're going to get those hurricane force winds. A guy named Robert Ray. Let's take a look at this. I think that building there the roof was torn off in Idalia. He must be in Perry driving around. This looks like Perry. A guy named Marcel Ligabou. And they were in Steinhatchee. That was a video from Steinhatchee. I don't know if Jim Eds is there. He's reporting on it, but he's not showing any video, so he might not be there. Josh Morgan gave an update, 6:15 a.m., the eye of Hurricane Debby. He's in Steinhatchee. I would have had a camera up on Keaton Beach because that would have been my game plan. So I would have had the eye. I would have got the eye anyways. 2901 inches. So 2901 is 982. Again, the cameras in the area are down. The observations are not jiving with what's actually measured by the hurricane hunters. We're not getting anything close to 80 miles per hour on land. Nothing. Even on Keaton Beach, you're showing 46, 70 mile an hour gust maybe, but nothing close to what a Dahlia produced. All right, Josh Morgan on Twitter. A hint of daylight, outlines of trees appearing against the sky, still breezy, muggy, unsettled, not a soul in sight. He's in the eye of Hurricane Debby in Steinhatchee. Yeah, I think that's our current shot right there. There we go. Here's the update statement from National Hurricane Center. Debby makes landfall near Steinhatchee, Florida. Expected to bring life-threatening storm surge in portions of Florida and major flooding in southeastern United States. Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft observations and Doppler radar images from Tallahassee indicate that the center of Hurricane Debby has made landfall around 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time near Steinhatchee, Florida, in the Big Bend, Florida area. Data from the hurricane hunters indicate pressure at landfall was 979 millibars, and the maximum winds were 80 miles per hour, and that will not change. 29.7 north, 83.5 west, 5 miles west of Steinhatchee, Florida, 70 miles southeast of Tallahassee, maximum sustained winds 80 miles per hour, moving to the north-northeast at 15 degrees at 10 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure, again, 979 millibars. That's 28.91 inches. So that's the official landfall in Steinhatchee, Florida, with the HUR track. And there is our current center. And again, matching that with the radar. There is our landfall of Hurricane Debby, August 5th, 2024, of 80 miles per hour, 979 millibars.